Well, it's finally happened, guys. They basically shut down Fani Willis in her office's Young Thug YSL trial. Yep, you heard it first here, guys. On the 100th day of the Young Thug YSL trial in Fulton County, the court was halted indefinitely. So Fulton County Superior Court Judge Glanville, he made the announcement after he was scheduled to hold an in-camera private review of the very controversial ex parte meeting that has been a point of debate for the last few sessions. So the trial for Young Thug, aka Jeffrey Williams, and several of his associates began back in November 27th, 2023. But for months now, this trial has dragged on with witness testimony and bickering among attorneys. And it all came to a head with this ex parte meeting that took place between witness Kenneth Copeland, his lawyer, Fani Willis's prosecutors, and Judge Glanville after Copeland initially refused to testify for the prosecution. You notice who's missing here, right? The defense. Hence, defense attorney Brian Steele and his co-lawyers for the other defendants filed motion after motion to recuse Judge Glanville for the ex parte meeting that left them out, only to be denied over and over by Judge Glanville himself. Overall, Judge Glanville has previously denied 3 motions for this recusal or disqualification from the case. But thankfully, this last one, Steele revealed that another judge would be assigned to review a motion filed by DeMonte Kendrick's lawyer in order to have him removed from the case. That's right, guys. I kid you not, guys. This trial could not get any more crazy. Now, apart from contempt arrests and questionable judicial conduct, there's also been talk of murder. Yes, you heard that right, guys, murder. Now, over the weekend, rumors began circulating online about the possible death of Kenneth Lilwitty Copeland. However, they were incorrect. It appears that a man who was killed in his apartment on Peyton Place Southwest on June 29th may be an associate or friend of Copeland. So they're still trying to confirm who it really was, but I think you guys get the idea of the kind of hornet's nest that Fulton County has picked up here. Now, as former federal prosecutor Niyama Ramani put it, there is the perception that Fulton County is out of control. But stay tuned for today's video, guys. We have a lot to uncover with all the details about this case, including the just released transcript of this ex parte meeting among Judge Glanville, Fani Willis prosecutors, and state witness Kenneth Copeland. At one point, Simone Hilton, a deputy district attorney with Fani Willis's office, said in the meeting, "Judge, you might want to close your ears." So Steele is arguing that his client, Young Thug, has been deprived for his constitutional right of ethical prosecutors, saying that the district attorney's office has abandoned and violated their duties and that it was teaming up with the judge to gain an unlawful illegal advantage over the defense. So is this the kind of misconduct normal in Fani Willis's office? Because she herself was almost disqualified for ethical concerns in their case against former President Donald Trump. So anyway, guys, it's time we take a look into this. By the way, if you haven't already, please take a second, hit the like button for the video, subscribe to the channel. Thanks so much for sharing these videos. You guys are absolutely amazing, and it totally does help out the channel. But here's the big news. They just released a transcript of the ex parte meeting, and now Judge Glanville, he has to put the Young Thug trial in indefinite recess. Check this out.
Courtney and Russ, in that meeting, prosecutors told Kenneth Copeland if he refused to testify, he could be jailed until all the defendants finished their trials. Now, several other attorneys for Copeland say they weren't present in the meeting because they weren't told about it. They have since pushed to have Judge Glanville removed from the case because of this. Copeland was held in contempt on June 7th, the Friday before the secret meeting on June 10th. He was jailed for refusing to answer prosecutors' questions. At the time, Copeland said he would invoke his Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination. The released transcript also contains an email from one of Copeland's attorneys accusing prosecutors of endangering his client by forcing him to testify. Prosecutors pushed back on that claim. The transcript also stated prosecutor Adrian Love raised concerns about whether Copeland understood the immunity agreement in exchange for his testimony. The judge told Copeland they wanted to give him the chance to ask questions and clear up any confusion before he was brought to testify. Now, in response, Copeland told Judge Glanville, quote, "I have never been truthful a day in my life. I don't comprehend none of this stuff that's going on." The meeting ended with Copeland finally agreeing to testify. Now, the trial was placed on hold yesterday until another judge decides if Judge Glanville can stay on the case. We'll be watching for that development.
Honestly, guys, the bigger news for me here is how they put the trial on hold, because they're finally having another judge decide whether Glanville can stay on instead of him having the power to deny motions of recusal for him as the judge. That's the biggest news to me, because with this and the Fani Willis trial against former President Donald Trump, people are starting to wonder if they need to have all of Fulton County DA and the judges removed. People are starting to think that the judge doesn't even know the law. And now everything's coming to a head on the 100th day of the Young Thug YSL trial in Fulton County, with the court being halted indefinitely. So the backdrop is Young Thug's trial was started back on November 27, 2023, and has been quite the saga with endless testimony, witness testimony, and a fair share of lawyer arguments. The whole issue started when Kenneth Copeland, who was supposed to testify for the prosecution, initially refused and ended up spending a weekend in jail for contempt. This led to a secretive ex parte meeting in the judge's chambers on June 10th, right before Copeland testified. When Young Thug's lead attorney Brian Steele confronted Judge Glanville about this meeting and refused to say who tipped him off about it, he too was slapped with a contempt order. Initially, Judge Glanville planned to make him spend 10 weekends in jail, but the Georgia Supreme Court stepped in and put a stay on that order. Special thanks to Ashley Merchant for that one. Once the details of the ex parte meeting leaked, Brian Steele and a few other defense attorneys, they tried to get Judge Glanville kicked off the case. But Glanville just dismissed these attempts and denied all the motions for recusal that they filed. Young Thug's co-defendant, DeMonte Kendrick, made a similar move through an emergency motion, but the appellate court sent it back, basically saying that Kendrick had to follow proper procedures. Then, the Friday before the indefinite hold was announced, Judge Glanville told everyone they would discuss the transcript of the ex parte meeting on the following Monday. This meeting was initially supposed to be private, but as of Monday, Glanville used case law to defend his actions in the ex parte meeting and described it as proper. He informed prosecutors and the defense lawyers that he would be releasing the complete transcript from the meeting for them to use as they see fit, and before any further examination of witness Copeland. And then Steele announced that another judge would look into a motion to remove Glanville from the case, filed by Kendrick's lawyer. Now, this is after Judge Glanville had already denied 3 similar motions. So court is now on pause until further decisions are made, with no hearing scheduled yet. Witness testimony is set to resume after the holiday on July 8th, but we'll see. In a separate but related note, other defendants connected to Young Thug appeared in a separate courtroom in front of Fulton County Superior Court Judge Alfred Dempsey. 5 of those defendants rejected plea deals offered by the state and requested trial dates. So these defendants are still waiting for a chance to review the deals that were offered to them. So, do they like their chances now that Glanville's under investigation? Certainly seems like it. Alright guys, now before we dive any deeper into this case, I just want to go ahead and take a second. If you guys are enjoying the breakdown of this Young Thug YSL trial and finding it intriguing, interesting, and you want to stay updated on the latest developments, definitely make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Your support totally helps us continue to bring you guys the most current and detailed analyses. Alright, so let's get back to the chaos that's happening in Fulton County, shall we? Alright, so according to the Georgia Code of Judicial Conduct, judges shall not initiate, permit, or consider ex parte communications or consider other communications made to them outside the presence of the parties or their lawyers concerning a pending proceeding or impending matter, subject to the following exceptions. Now, it also states when a meeting does not deal with substantive matters, the judge must promptly notify all other parties of the substance of the ex parte communication and gives the parties an opportunity to respond. And as far as I know, it's illegal for a judge to meet with a sworn witness without a defense present, no matter what Glanville is saying to defend his alleged misconduct. But sure enough, the Atlanta legal community has rallied behind defense attorney Brian Steele, who Glanville ordered arrested. Dozens of criminal defense attorneys arrived at the courthouse to show their support, and Ashley Merchant, who chairs the state's Criminal Defense Attorney Association, she defended Steele before Glanville. Merchant told Glanville he had a duty to inform defense counsels that there were ex parte communications being made, and that the main crux of Steele's argument was that he should not have had to learn it from wherever he learned it from. Now, that name may be familiar to you guys, as Merchant earlier this year revealed Fani Willis's relationship with Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade and kicked off the disqualification case against the Fulton County DA. You see, I'm starting to see a pattern among Fulton County officials here. You guys notice this too? As for this new motion to recuse Judge Glanville, people are saying he needs to be arrested and lose his license too, that he's a crooked crook and should be disbarred. What do y'all think about that? Things got even dicier when Judge Earl Glanville shared the full transcript of this secret meeting involving Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis's office and him in this YSL case. Judge Earl Glanville shared the full transcript on Monday after making the surprise announcement that proceedings in the case would be put on hold indefinitely until an outside judge reviews the motions for his recusal. Now, I quickly went through the transcript, guys, before we started this video. One of the things that really kind of stood out for me was when Simone Hilton, a deputy district attorney with Fani Willis's office, told Copeland, the witness, at one point, literally, if he confesses to a murder on the stand, if he doesn't do any other independent evidence outside of what Copeland says on the stand, he is immune from prosecution from what he says in court. More surprising was the fact that this part also included Hilton telling Judge Glanville he might want to close his ears for that one. Yep. Only in Fulton County, guys. At 18 months and counting, the YSL trial is the longest in Georgia's history. In 2022, Willis indicted rapper Young Thug and 27 others for gang-related crime. Only 6 of the defendants are standing trial. Jury selection began in January 2023, and opening statements started in November 2023. Before Glanville's announcement, the trial had been expected to go well into 2025. It is one of 2 high-profile criminal racketeering cases led by Fani Willis's office. Her team is also prosecuting former President Donald Trump and his allies for their alleged efforts to overturn the state's 2020 election under Georgia's racketeering laws. Trump's case was also put on hold after the Georgia Supreme Court agreed to take up the defense's effort to have Willis removed from the prosecution. Former federal prosecutor Naima Rahmani painted a picture of the clown show that the Fulton County justice system is putting on, that there is this perception that Fulton County is just out of control. As Rahmani put it, even people who haven't been following the trial closely saw Judge Glanville blow up on steel for no good reason on social media. And of course, everybody has already heard of Fani Willis hiring her boyfriend Nathan Wade as special counsel in the Trump case and the ensuing sideshow that resulted in his disqualification. Willis has botched both cases because of these self-inflicted mistakes and charging and trying too many co-defendants at once. Those decisions have ground both proceedings to a halt. True enough, though, there seems to be this growing association that everything Fani Willis touches becomes radioactive. 2 high-profile cases put on hold because of questions of misconduct. That would certainly give anyone pause. Now, the question is, will it work on Fani Willis? Now, your guess is as good as mine, guys, so sound off in the comments down below. More on this in our other video about Fani Willis and how Trump's lawyer Steve Pitbull Sadow has filed a shocking new motion to expose the district attorney for alleged corruption and misuse of taxpayer money involving her ex-lover Nathan Wade, who reportedly received massive payouts. Go ahead and check that video out right after this one, guys. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for liking and subscribing to the channel, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.